Hello, this is Frequency Intuitive. Welcome back. And today we are doing a reading on it's called You've Been Waiting for This. Spirit just dropped the title on this like swirly banner in my mind with an exclamation point. You've been waiting for this. So someone out there, we're already getting messages. Oh, wow. A card I have never received. We're already getting it. So whoever is out there, if there's something that has been on your mind, a manifestation you've been waiting for, this message is for you. We're going to get some more information. Okay. We had that card come out yesterday in the reading, and I've just been like feeling so called to film. I was kind of not feeling any inspiration from the spirit realm for the past. Anyways, y'all probably don't care. But anyways, here I am. So pile 1 is this palm stone. I think this is one of the chakras. I don't know if this is base chakra because it's pink. I'm not sure, but this pink palm stone. And this card 31, why? I have never received this. I've never pulled this card in this deck, and I've had this deck for like a decade. I didn't know it was in there. So the question, why? Pile 2, sorry, I couldn't remember the name of the title of the video for a second. I was like, what's the... You've been waiting for this, because I was like, why? So maybe you have a question about something, pile 1. You've been waiting for an answer. Pile 2, card 15, this turquoise star, message in a bottle. That's card 15. And pile 3, card 12 with the zebra and this black, I think it's onyx, spearhead. I like when the cards match the crystals that we've selected. So go ahead, take your time, and when you are ready, we will see what it is you've been waiting for and what's coming in for you. I'll see you in your group. Pile 1 with the Y card. And let's look at this card a little closer since I've never seen it before. This figure has fairy wings, a mask on, and they're looking into this book that also has wings, which has a big question mark on it. There's question marks in the air. So, and the theme of the reading is you've been waiting for this, and it's card 31, which reduces to a 4, if that's meaningful for anybody. I am getting pink heart chakra energy for you guys. That's green, but rose quartz is also associated and pink with the heart chakra. And I just noticed how these two lined up here, and that just was highlighted for me. But let's get some more information for you. So for pile 1, what have they been waiting for? You've been waiting for this. What information can we give them? I can't believe truth came out for you. Card 20 with truth. Like, I feel this so powerful because you have why. So your guys' energy is really, you're powerful manifestors. If you don't know that, like for your energy, wherever you are in the world, to have a question within you and call it forth through to a reading that you've aligned yourself to match up with, that you can see the reading, and then to have the reader read your energy and pull you a card that is truth. Like, don't underplay your power. You're very powerful. You have card 9, solitude. I always get hermit energy from this, so you could be a Virgo or dealing with a Virgo or just have been in Virgo energy with card 9 there. That's also like, I believe, the 9 of Swords card. And you have hope, which came out in reverse. And I take the cards as spirit guides me to. If it's reversed and it's meant to be reversed, I'm taking that reverse. So you've been feeling very hopeless. And I don't mean to laugh, but just because it's reversed, I'm like, sorry, I just had an espresso, so I'm still drinking it, so I'm a little bit amped up. But you've been feeling lack of hope. You have been certain, like it's so clear. You've been looking for the truth about something. You have absolute confusion and unclarity and so many questions about why something happened or why something has happened. You've been in solitude, and she's actually holding a book too, this figure, and there's a book here. So it's possible you've been looking for the answers. Now, Spirit's clarifying, this doesn't mean that something had to happen. It's possible you're searching for the answers about life, about your purpose, about the meaning of life, about why are we here. But why are my hands so dry right now? So it's quite possible that you are a searcher, a wisdom seeker, a truth seeker, and that's your general energy. So that's one level for some of you. Level 2 is, or another level, another portal, is that something did happen. Like someone ghosted you, there was some traumatic event like a death or an illness or a sickness, something you're going through, the breakup of a marriage, I could go on, for things that cause us to question why did that happen. There could be confusion surrounding why it happened, and it says you've been waiting for this, and the first card that came out was truth. So you're going to find some truth in this matter, whether it's the answers you're seeking or coming to some sort of internal peace about what happened, an inner knowing. Now, if you're not, just right off the hop, my guides gave me this, if you're not in tune with your own guides and spirit teams, that's a possible path to this truth. Because if you cannot ask the person or the individuals, or if you can't find answers on the 3D realm, just because maybe it's impossible for whatever reason, you can ask the non-3D realm, the non-physical realm. They see everything, they are aware of everything. Now, this depends on your belief system, but if you're open to that, that's my belief system, just based on my experience. I didn't grow up with that. I grew up very religious, and that didn't resonate with me. Personally, I have nothing against organized religions. Everyone has their own path to their truth. But for me, I have found a lot of clarity in developing this relationship with my spirit team, because they do have those answers and they can download them, drop them into your awareness, and you will receive answers without having to have that individual speak to you, if that helps. I'm getting a little bit of a headache channeling that information, so there could be some blocks in your awareness about that. So I'm just going to move off that topic if there's some resistance there. Let's just take a deep breath if you want, and just clear the energy. Man holding a coin. Interesting. Very different energy coming up. Very pentacle energy. Action, card 17. Okay. So Spirit, what would be helpful for Pile 1 to know about this? They've been waiting for this. What can we tell them? Oh, okay. Those two just didn't want to go back in. Success, okay. And purity. Very interesting energy here. It's very polarizing. I'm gonna get a little bit more before I channel. Oh. Disruption, okay. And protection, it was in reversed. Why do I say that in reverse? Reversed. I very rarely get that card too. I'm just going to tune into my guides here because, like I said, I'm getting a headache, which means my third eye chakra is having a little bit of congestion with the information that I'm trying to read here, and I'm not sure why. I feel there's a lot of pain on your side, either physical pain or just confusion and feeling of discomfort. Okay, so the two Prism Oracle cards, they're telling me this is your past energy. So whatever this was, it was whatever happened or whatever's been happening, it caused a disruption in your life, and it caused you to feel unprotected, insecure, not safe. Okay, so they want to clarify that's past energy. Future energy, which is why it feels so polarizing and not in line with the reading, is man holding a coin, which is like, I believe, the King of Pentacles in this deck, action, which is the Chariot, and success. What I can't see is the thread that connects these two. What I can't see is, but they're telling me to get a clarification card. What shifts you out? Like, for what purpose would you just suddenly start taking action and become financially successful? Right? Because that's what's on the table. But what does that have to do with this disruptive situation or energy that you've been in that's caused you to self-isolate and caused you to start seeking the truth? Like, where do you shift out of that and move into this fresh energy? What's the catalyst, right? Is it something that you do? Is it something that you, an endeavor you take on? Is it an answer that you get? So let me look into this a little bit more. Okay, this one. Adjustments are required. Okay, I was getting that when I first asked the question, like what is the thread? My guide said something like, or they didn't say, but they projected this feeling of you're going to have a complete shift in consciousness. Basically, you're going to have to drop this thing. Maybe drop the need to understand, drop the pursuit of the truth. I don't know if drop's the right word, but they are showing me these locks, like you've been bound to this thing a little bit, tied to it. And the thing about when we're in a state of a not ideal state where we're not feeling our best, you're calling a lot of energy. That's why I was getting a little bit of a headache through the universe, because every time you want something, you're calling for it. Your energy is saying, I want to feel better. I want the truth. I want to have no anxiety. I want to feel good. I want to feel peace. I want to be successful. I want to enjoy my life. I want to feel fulfilled. I want to feel satisfied. So all of this energy is churning and churning and churning and building like a vortex, like a tornado of energy in the ethereal realm. And when your current circumstances you haven't shifted out of that yet, and you're still churning in that other energy, when you do go and you release whatever you need to release, and these chains fall off of you, they're showing me these chains here, you fly. Like I always think of it like a slingshot. You hold the slingshot back. You're holding the energy back. You're building the energy, like physics wise. And then when you release it, the momentum is so intense that it catapults whatever is in the slingshot, way far ahead. Chariot with this action. So that could be one perspective that helps you make sense of this. Okay, or they just showed me the scenario that you did attempt something to be successful. This could be anything, a career, a business, a hobby, a relationship, trying to have kids. You did attempt something and it was unsuccessful, and you have this why. What happened? Why couldn't I have this thing? Why did this person leave? Why did this person die? Why did this, not work out? Why was this not successful? And the cards are showing that maybe that attempt wasn't for whatever divine purpose. And that did disrupt you. It did disrupt your energy. But that this other attempt is going to, once you start taking this action and you start steering your own chariot again, you start steering the direction of your life again, and you turn this hope back upright. And they want me to put it back upright now, because that's what's not aligned. Do you see? Oh, okay, whoa. Gosh, they're so clever, my my guys. Oh my gosh, so many things. Okay, woo! I'm getting like butterflies in my stomach here. When I turned this card over for number 1, I saw that these 2 cards have the same number, 1717, which reduces to 2 8s. When this was flipped over, I couldn't see because the number was down here. I couldn't even see that there was alignment. But as soon as they said flip the hope card back over, I saw that these 2 cards are a complete match. And I wasn't even able to see that because the hope was reversed. So there, and then second thing, remember how these seemed disconnected? I was like, what does the man holding a coin and action have to, there's no thread that connects them. Remember? As soon as they told me to flip the hope over, I saw the thread that connects them. The cards literally lined up. And I can see that as you shift into a state of belief again and hope, because if you can't get to belief, then get to hope. I would like this to happen. I could see this happening in my future. I'm excited for this possibly to happen in my future. I don't know how. I don't know what happened before, but I'm not going to let one attempt or multiple attempts that didn't work out at something stop me from believing that this is for me. Because, my dear, if you want something, it's for you. If you have that calling and it's coming from a true place of soul alignment, not from jealousy or envy or, wanting or power tripping or anything like that, which I don't believe anyone here would have that sort of energy because we're all in the same frequency. But if you have a desire in your heart, that's your soul calling. That's your soul saying, this is something that we would love. So trust and believe that means that you're going to bring it in divine timing into your experience. And I know it can be frustrating and very confusing when something doesn't manifest that when we believe in our own manifestational abilities and we don't see it happening, or when it doesn't happen, and then we start to question, am I not worthy? Why wasn't I able to make that happen? And it can feel like a not right now is a no forever, but that's not the same thing. Timing literally is everything. And it's quite possible that where you were at in your life, maybe in your consciousness, in your physical world, you weren't prepared yet, and this was preparing you for that. Oh, this one popped out. A couple popped out. I feel like that's a lot. We're just going to take them. It's time to release negativity. So that is really what I'm getting. They showed me like you breaking out of these chains and just dropping these chains. Step out of your comfort zone and meditate and contemplate. Yeah, so listen, I'm going to wrap up your reading here because I think this is very clear. The energy that you were in, you need to move out of that energy into a fresh energy because you have success waiting for you. You have fresh hope, fresh desire. Oh, we forgot to talk about this purity card. Okay, yeah, so they're showing me like clear waters and it's muddied. So with this, it's time to release negativity. Like, this is not about spiritual bypassing. This is not about not acknowledging your emotions. Negative emotions are to be honored. They're a part of the creative process. If you don't know what you don't want, you can't create what you do want. There has to be duality. There has to be polarity. But the longer you sit in it, the worse it is for you, for your health, for your manifestations, for the rest of your world, because you're meant to bounce up. You're meant to yin to your yang. You're meant to say, oh, I really didn't like that, and now let it heal. If you get a cut, your body is going to heal it. You're not meant to, have that cut forever. It's going to heal over. Yes, there could be a little bit of a scar. The scar will show you, oh, I remember when I got that. I remember what I learned from that. But you're meant to trust in the divine power and the protection that you have, that cut's going to heal. So they're just showing me this clear cylinder of water that that is been made muddy because of what's happened and because of the thoughts that have been created because of this circumstance. And that if you can just stop adding mud to the water, just meditate and contemplate, try and find a neutral point, try and find some sense of peace, which might be, I don't understand why that happened. I don't have the answers right now, but I know that they're coming. And let that sediment settle to the bottom instead of stirring it back up every day. Let the sediment settle. It'll create a new foundation for you. That's what my guides are showing me. All of that confusion and turmoil will create a new solid base for you, something for you to stand on. And then your water will be clear. And from this clear point, they're encouraging you to step out of your comfort zone, make the adjustments that are required, which means there's going to be things in your world that you're going to have to be honest with yourself and say, okay, this is no longer serving me. Like, it's go time. Like, where do I want to create now? You're leading your horses on your chariot and deciding whatever this thing caused you to focus on and decide that you want to now have or now do or now be. It's time to take action on that because you have so much success here. You have truth coming in. You did pull the truth card first. So you might have a message in pile 2 because I think that was message in a bottle. So there could be, if your scenario was the one that you want actual answers from somebody and you're not comfortable getting those in a state of meditation and contemplation, like you could automatic write and get the information from your guides. But if you do want 3D answers on something, it sounds like those will be coming through because it says truth. So also, stand on your own truth. So it does sound like you're going to have resolution on this situation, but you have to move out of this hermit energy, step out of your comfort zone that you've been in, release the negativity, allow the murky water to still, to become clear again, and bring back your hope. This 1717, 88 could be a number for you. I would Google what that means and see if any of the meanings resonate for you. But it sounds like you have this complete polar opposite life waiting for you, like on the horizon, where you're financially successful, you're successful, your hope is renewed, it's a wish fulfilled. The action is, like, they're showing me like it could flip like this. When you shift your mindset, it's going to flip like this, and then you're going to be like, whoa, like I got to go. Like, look how fast this is moving now. Like, I have the thing has come to me, this, and now there's so much for me to dig my teeth into. There's so much for me to do. I've got to prepare this. I got to write that. I got to get this ready, and you're just going to be off and running like these two horses. But again, they're showing me the two horses. There's a black horse and a white horse. This yin yang energy, the duality. So learning how to harness both your positive and your negative aspects, your shadow and your light aspects, and have them both working for you towards your success. Encompassing them all and understanding that, I know it's hard to hear, but everything does really happen for a reason. Everything does happen in divine timing, and that you have so much positive success here. You have this bright star, you have the success card, you have the King of Pentacles card, money coming in, success, reward, security. But you're being called to take some of these actions, releasing the negativity, making whatever adjustments are needed in your life, stepping out of your comfort zone, and meditating and contemplating with your guides on whatever you need to, reflecting. I want to clarify this purity card because I'm getting nothing from it. I'm just tuning into what deck. Can you clarify the purity card? Oh, right. They said the vase of water. That's what that analogy was for. But I already have this deck, so we'll get you a final card. Allowing your energy to purify, they're saying, so that you have a fresh manifestation point. 3 cards. Yeah, fresh manifestation point. The void. Stop, embrace winter, great cosmic wound. So this is that. Now, what do you want to create energy from this point? Stepping over that. Yours is stepping over the threshold energy. You're coming up to the threshold, stepping over the threshold and saying, okay, I'm moving past this now and I'm stepping into a fresh new life. And where do I want to go from here? breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. Yeah, I get that. I get that there's some trust here that you're going to need to redevelop in the universe. And I get it. It's so hard when something happens, like those life events that are so traumatic that you're like, you lose all your hope. Your hope is reversed. You lose all your faith in the universe and in a higher source, possibly because you're like, there's no way that a loving God or I would never have created that, or whatever the situation is. But I can't probably bring you peace in this one card reading, but I do know that there is a frequency that you can reach and a level of consciousness when you are feeling better, where you come out of that murky water, where you do feel that you understand and you do see the bigger picture and you do understand the impenetrability, the invincibility, and the eternalness of your soul and everybody else's soul. And that will bring you hopefully some peace to know that nothing has gone wrong in the sense that you think it has. Of course, from our narrow perspective, it looks like something's gone wrong. But when you are, way, way in the future and you decide to pass over into your non-physical and you re-emerge with your one true self, you will instantly understand fully the perfection of everything that happens. Yeah, I can't say more than that because I can feel so many situations that it's like very hard, to wrap your head around. That you would say that there's no perfection in what happened. I totally get it. But it's a different level of consciousness, like I said, when you think of it from your internal soul's perspective. But I'll just leave it at that. A new earth. Oh my gosh, this is your reading summed up. So what you've been waiting for, this is this new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. This is a new world for you. This is a new reality. This is a new you. And what's so interesting that my guides were just showing me is when you came to this reading, you didn't even know that that's what you've been waiting for. You came to the reading thinking you're waiting for answers to this question. You're waiting for the confusion to lift. You're waiting for this to make sense. Make it make sense, right? Your energy is like, make it make sense. But what you didn't realize when you came to this reading is that spirit came in the back door and said, hey, what you actually have been trying to call forth through this situation is this upgrade, this complete activation of this new life that you've been calling in. And once that murk settles, the muddy water settles, and you're in this pure, clear state that's coming soon, that's coming on the heels of this reading, whenever you see this, it's timeless. You're going to start to get these downloads and these little inklings and activations of like, actually, yeah, I do feel that I want to give this another go. I do feel that I want to move in this new direction. I do feel that there's some fresh desires bubbling up within me. And I am going to hold this dream and hold this vision again and allow this new earth that I have, this vision for my life, a new earth for you, a new timeline for you to come in, and I'm going to start to take action, divinely guided action as I'm led one step at a time, and I'm going to move towards my success. And I really think that this time next year, you're going to be just blown away by the change that you've made in your life. Okay, they're closing out your reading there. Sending you all my love because I completely understand the energy that you're in. I've been there. So I'm sending you all of my love through the screen and giving you a big virtual hug. And if you are going to another pile, I will see you there. If not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Be well. Hi, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. So you chose this turquoise star crystal and card 15. With message in a bottle. And this is about, you've been waiting for this. So let's find out what is it you've been waiting for and what's more information about it coming through into your reality. Now there's actually a telephone in this glass bottle here. So this these two just random chakra cards flying out of nowhere. This one actually came up reversed. I'm going to leave that reversed. The sacral chakra and the third eye chakra coming up. Whoa, okay. Your cards are, I can't even and sacrifice. Okay. If you know, that's like my least favorite card. Because I just don't believe you should have to sacrifice to have what you want. I just believe it's an old paradigm. But let's find out what that means in your reading. It could be that you believe that. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is that you could be expecting news, because Healer of the Ages, card 51, I'm just going to take that one upright. It's not really one you would take. It's like the Hierophant card, I believe. Oh my gosh. Well, another chakra. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know. I've never had so many chakra cards. Wow. Blossoming Abundance, card 3. And 6th chakra, which again, you have 2. Wow. Okay. This is so interesting. You have the third eye chakra twice. Your 6th chakra. That's very interesting. So your third eye chakra, this is your inner knowing. So I'm going to rearrange these cards now because they've been making some sense in a different way. Okay, I'm putting these 2 third eye chakra cards surrounding the message in a bottle, because this must have something to do with you developing or utilizing your inner knowing, your inner seeing about a situation. Message in a bottle. And then you have Healer of the Ages. So this could have something to do with health, if you're calling in some sort of recovery from something. Okay, for some reason I just felt so called to take this card. Card 1. I don't know why I knew that was going to be like one of these cards. You create your own reality. What you want wants you to. What do you want to experience? I didn't get this deck for card 1. That card was actually flipped the other way, because earlier that deck fell and I just put it back. And that one card was flipped upside down so I could see it didn't match the rest of the cards, and it was just like half askew, kind of like leaning towards the reading. So I was like, that card wants to come out. Card 1, you create your own reality. What you want wants you to. What do you want to experience? Message in a bottle. Healer of the Ages. Blossoming Abundance. So I'm getting, for some of you, there's 2 different themes here. For some of you, this is health related, where you're waiting for news about something regarding health, like a doctor's call or some sort of treatment plan or test results. And then for some of you, this has to do with waiting for a call about something that has to do with financial success, because you have blossoming abundance here, which abundance doesn't have to be financial, but I am getting it that way for this reading. And you're waiting for, like, did I get the grant? Did I get the loan? Did I get the job? Did I get the funds that I need? Did I get the promotion in order to invest in this enterprise? So let's get more information before we proceed with it. You've been waiting for this, but the reading is called You've Been Waiting for This. So whatever this thing is for you, the reading itself indicates that it's coming in soon. If any of this is sounding like your situation, then you're going to be getting an answer about this soon. But we can't overlook this third eye chakra activation that spirits put twice. So if they put something twice, the number 6 could have meaning to you, because that's the 6th chakra. And like I said, it came out twice. So we can't overlook what that means, but I'm going to get more clarification on what that means for you. Developing that inner knowing, that inner seeing, that connection with the universe, trusting your intuition. Okay, so right away, as soon as I said that, they said for a lot of you, you know what, like, you're waiting for a message or results or a call or confirmation or an answer, but you already know in yourself, because your guides have projected it to you, what the answer will be. And I don't mean when you're in a state of fear. I mean when you're in a state of hope, when you're in a state of clarity, that knowing, that feeling of like everything's going to be okay. This is going to work out regardless of what the answer is. I'm going to know exactly what to do and being led on my path. They're confirming that. Don't overlook that. They're almost saying stop giving so much weight and importance to what this diagnosis is, or what the result is, or what the conclusion is, because they're saying, regardless of what message comes in for you, what that says, you can always go to where you want to be from where you are. So if it is a diagnosis that's unfavorable, okay, so you start from there and you meditate and you contemplate and you use your third eye knowing to guide you to the resolution and the solution and the recovery that you need. That's it. It's not like that's the end. Same with if it's a loan you needed, or you're waiting to get a job or get into school. If the answer is no worries. Universe has your back. That was just not the thing that was in alignment for you. So where do we go from here? You start from there. Now, what's the next thing? What's the next path I'm being led on? So they just want to remind you that if you are putting all of this pressure on this, what it says, they want you to alleviate that pressure, because they're reminding you that regardless of what this indicates now, it's only indicating a flow of energy in this flow of energy, in this momentum. You can shift your energetic state, you can shift the timeline you're on, the portal, you can go in different portals, you can shift, you can choose a different reality from the billions of realities that are manifesting each second. So they just want to remind you of that, to not over put importance on what this message is, because you can still go wherever you want to go from where you are at that point. Okay. And yeah, that's what they want to say about that. Yeah, and they're also saying to trust that this is part of your path. This is part of what you set up and the intentions before you came here, of what you wanted to learn, of how you wanted this to unfold, of what you wanted to explore. Wonders. So, like, they're just showing me the Healer of the Ages card, where he has, I think this is supposed to be Jesus, if you resonate with Jesus as a ascended master. He has this like light coming out of his hands, and his solar plexus chakra is activated. And speaking of which, your sacral chakra came up reversed, so you may want to look into your creative center and activating that more. Is there anything there that you need to release? Do you feel that you're not creative? Do you feel that you can't create, that you can't bring forth the reality that you want? Is there some sort of blockage there? This is also could have to do with fertility. If you're feeling that you're not fertile, you can't give birth to things, either actual life, if that's something that you want, if you want to take the parenthood route, or if you are having issues there, like health issues. We can't talk too much about medical stuff. That's why I hesitate every time. It's one of the YouTube rules. But yeah, I would definitely look into your sacral chakra. Like, just Google it and look into, symptoms of an underactivated sacral chakra, because I don't want to get too much into it here, and see if any of that leads you somewhere. Because regardless of what this message is that's coming in, you've been waiting for this, and this is already in progress. In fact, they're showing me you're already 99% to the way to this manifestation. You don't see it maybe, but you are. And sorry, yeah, back to this wonders card. Like, maybe you struggle a bit with believing in your own creatorship abilities, and kind of like that Jesus energy. Maybe you believe, well, only Jesus could heal, only the ascended masters could heal, but they were always trying to show the way. They were always trying to show the power that we had within each of us, that ability for inner healing, that ability for, because I get caught up saying that stuff, because you have to remember that everyone has their own soul mission and soul things that they want to learn. So some people have come with things they want to learn regarding health. So if that's part of your journey, only you will know if that resonates for you. So I don't want anyone ever feeling bad if they haven't been able to heal themselves, from something. That could be something that you're soul signed up for, essentially, right? So you have to meditate and contemplate, activate your third eye chakra to get that information from your own self, from your higher self, from your inner being, also from your ascended masters, and say, what is the purpose of this? What lesson am I supposed to learn from this? Is there something that I'm missing? Can I move past this? Can I release this? Like this, I want to release this. And also giving it time. Some manifestations, they really do take physical time for your resistance regarding something to release and for you to find the path. Okay, well, a lot of messages have already come out, but let's get just some more information for you. Ooh, leadership coming out. I just watched, that's so weird, I just watched a YouTube short with a polar bear. Embracing. Yeah, like I said, I feel, I don't know what the leadership card has to do with anything except that it's good to take control of your own life, obviously. But the embracing card, this doesn't come up frequently. I get this with this, what you want wants you to, what do you want to experience? Like, what do you want to embrace? What learning, what lesson, what can this be about besides what you think it's about? You know, like, is it about developing patience? Is it about trusting in your own ability to create your own reality? Like, do you feel a sense of vulnerability and insecurity? Like you can't have what you want unless this person says a certain thing, you know? I didn't get this deck either for pile 1, but I feel called to this for you. This is the Astro deck. Future, yeah, North Node. So, like, I'm getting that your future, you have a purpose here. Like your North Node, that's your guiding light. That's your purpose. That's what your inner compass. So what, like, again, with this card 1, you create your own reality. What do you want to create? What you want wants you, what you want to experience. I feel like they're kind of showing me you're kind of circling too much around this information. And they keep saying diagnosis, but they even mean diagnosis in the sense of like conclusion. Like the diagnosis is you didn't get into school, or the diagnosis is, you know, and into that school or whatever, or that job. And they're showing me how you're basically, just imagine, can you, sometimes when you just need the feeling of it, can you imagine the feeling of feeling that power and that empowerment where you remove all control that this verdict has over you? Whatever this message is that you're waiting for, that when it comes, you just feel like, oh, okay. It's kind of irrelevant because you're going to do what you had planned to do anyway. And if it's not through that avenue, then rejection is divine protection, and you take it in another way, you know? And I'm feeling called to tell this story now because this could be that you're waiting. Actually, and I want to see. Okay, a couple things are coming up now. Let me get one more card, and then something else, and then I'll tell you this story. Conjunction Alliance. Card 51. So this could be about things moving in sync with you and things being an ally to you and seeing where you can move in the rhythm of the universe. Like all these birds, they fly together and they fly in a V formation. These are Canadian geese, I believe, because we have them here. They fly in a V formation purposely for wind, you know, benefits. The ones at the end are doing this and the ones at the beginning are doing this, and they're all flying in a formation instinctively in order to support each other's purpose and role. So that might be meaningful to someone, where you realize that your purpose is that it would be better, you'd have an easier time of it if you worked with others within this. For example, they're just giving me an example. Say it is a health thing and you get a negative diagnosis and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm devastated. And then someone, a doctor or a healthcare professional, calls you and says, hey, we're actually researching a cure for this. Can you help us? Because we also have some new methods. Do you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden you go down this path where you meet these wonderful people and you feel the sense of purpose, and you're able to develop other traits because maybe now you're doing some public speaking about it. Like, do you see how sometimes one thing leads to another thing, and then, maybe you recover from the end, or maybe one of the treatments works, one of the experimental treatments. That's just an example of that. Does that make sense? Your guys' reading's very choppy for me because I feel so clear that there's two separate things here, and there's actually a third, which I haven't even addressed yet, which I'm not sure if those people are still watching because I haven't brought it up yet, which I'm about to, is that you could be waiting for a message about someone ghosted you. This could be a relationship thing, even though there's really nothing else here about relationship. That's just coming in as a channeled message, where you're like, what happened to this person? Like, everything was going great, and then I stopped hearing from them. Passion, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. An ideation. It was in reversed. Why do I say reversed every time? Reverse. Yeah, like I am just getting some energy here that there's some other path that is unfolding regarding this, with some sort of like Page of Wands energy or Ace of Wands. Like, there's a fresh idea, like a fresh concept that maybe you're not seeing. There's a new idea that's brewing that you haven't had the realization of yet, because it's being projected to you, but you're a little bit caught up. And I say this gently with peace and love because it's hard. I get it when but you're a little bit caught up in what this message is going to be, or what the conclusion is going to be. And for some of you, you haven't even tried because you're afraid of what the answer would be. That's for one of you out there. Like, you haven't applied for the grant or the job or the promotion because you're like, but anyways, so if that's you, you might want to take some action towards this, because we have blossoming abundance here. But passion's on the table, which means that there's something here that could ignite a fire within you. There's something here that maybe you're not seeing that is really the purpose of this. Does that make sense? It's like sometimes you think something's about one thing, like you think you're just getting into school, but it's really about the person you're going to meet there. And so you don't get into that school. That was your first pick. You get into another school, and that's where you meet your future partner or your best friend. You see what I'm saying? Like I said about the medical thing, like there's some other purpose or reason. But what I was going to tell you about the relationship thing is, there was a situation I had in my life in my early 30s, and where I completely fell head over heels for this person. We met online, we went on a couple dates, we were like attached at the hip, we were texting every day, like one of those. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is my twin, this is my soulmate, whatever, I don't know. I never felt like that before. And then he just disappeared. He just stopped messaging. One morning, I just never heard from him again for about a month and a half. I think it was like 6 weeks. And it was the summer, and I was devastated, and I was constantly checking my phone. And I couldn't understand it. Was more what was making me bananas about it, because I just was like, I couldn't think of any logical reason, except for this person must have passed on. Like, I couldn't think of any logical reason how you could go from being so communicative with someone, even like just as a best friend, like, and then just not saying anything for 6 weeks the next day. And at the time, I didn't know it was going to be 6 weeks, right? Like, on week 5, I was assuming we were going into week 8 and week 9 and week 10. Like, I didn't know week 6 was going to be the week I was going to hear, but I did. But in that time period, those 6 weeks, I was so focused on manifesting this person back in my life. Like, I missed the point. And the universe was trying to protect me, because this was not a good person for me. This did not end well. And it took 3 years of my life and like another 3 years to rebuild from this, because this person was struggling with addiction problems, and I didn't know that at the time. And I ended up putting a lot of energy, a lot of money into this person because I had set my heart on it. And I believe that I manifested this person back in because I was so resolute that I wanted to prove my manifestational abilities, because I was heavy into the spiritual world like I am now. And I kept saying to the universe, why can't I manifest this? Like, I want this back. So I need to know that I am the creator of my own reality. So show me that I am, because I want this person back. That's what I want, period. And so at the end of those 6 weeks, I manifested that person back. And I really feel that was a lesson that I had to learn. It wasn't about this person. It was about the universe trying to show me, if you had just let this go, I would have healed by the time and had a fresh perspective by the time this person came back around. And I would have seen, now that I'm out of the momentum of that passionate, obsessive phase, this person is not right for me. I would have seen that. There was red flags all over the place. But when you're caught up in that momentum, it's really hard to pull yourself out of that, because you've like convinced yourself that this is the person for you. And so I wasn't healed when they came back, because I was obsessing about it, about having it, like having a little tantrum. And I learned that lesson, that looking back, I should have let it go. I should have trusted that rejection was divine protection. I should have trusted in the universe's, divine timing, and knowing that I didn't know what was going on with this person, which is that they were struggling in life and they brought all that baggage into my life, and I accepted it because I wanted to, be right. So that's just a little story for someone. If you're not getting an answer, or if you were ghosted, or if the answer was no, sometimes you think you have a dream job, and your guides, if they could talk to you face to face, would say, you do not want this job. The people here are not your type of people. This is going to happen in 3 months. You do not want to be around for that. When the the company files for bankruptcy, things like this. I feel like we just got these exact same cards, or was this yesterday? So you have a win-win outcome is forecast. The energy is gaining momentum, and luck is on your side. So you have a really positive outcome here, but your reading is so choppy in the sense that I really feel what you came here for, thinking, I want to know if this is the thing. This thing is finally coming. Is this it? Your guides want to tell you, like, you're missing the actual juice of the matter. You're missing the point a little bit of what this purpose of this thing is in your life. So just remain open, trust. It's a positive outcome. Luck is on your side. You have blossoming abundance here. You're creating your own reality, but there's some more exploration here. And I really feel that you got this third eye chakra twice, because that's the main point of this for you, is to go and contemplate, meditate, reflect, journal, and ask your guides, what is the point of this? What am I missing from this situation? Is there something more here that I'm kind of fixating on that's the real reason that my soul called this in? And see if you can get that answer, because this is what you've been waiting for, I think, is the awareness and the realization about this other aspect, whether it's a new passionate project, whether it's this abundance coming in, whether it's embracing your healing powers, whether it's embracing, the wonders of the universe, working in alliance with other people, developing your psychic abilities, healing your sacral chakra. There's some other things here, North Node, finding your true purpose, staying on path. There's some other things here that this situation, it may be more than one thing, because there's actually a lot here for a reading. It's usually like one or two themes. There's some other things that your soul is wishing to experience and develop and bring forth, that this situation is kind of painted to look like something else in order for you to experience that. I hope this is making sense. Anyways, your reading is come to a close there. I hope you got what you needed. If not, feel free to check another pile for more information, or another reading. If you're going there, I will see you there. Otherwise, I will see you in another reading on another day. Be well. Hi, pile 3. You have the Change in the Wind card and the Black Spearhead, Black Onyx, I think that is. And let's find out what you've been waiting for. Something you've been calling in, and you selected the Change in the Wind card. So this could be something regarding a change that you're asking about. You have card 2, which is mental conflict. This is like the 2 of Swords card in a traditional tarot deck. And Shadow, card 18, which I believe is the Moon card. So something's definitely unclear to you. You're between two worlds. You're unsure about a decision you're trying to make. You're battling back and forth. So let's find out if we can get you some clarity about that decision. Bring some light to the shadow, possibly. Hostilities, okay. Card 26. So one decision could possibly bring upon some conflict for you. And maybe that's what you're trying to avoid. Can we get some clarity for pile? Appreciation, okay. So I'm getting a lot of duality here, like yin-yang energy. It's possible that one path brings some kind of hostility, but maybe it's something that you want more, because otherwise why would you bother, right? And then one path, it sounds like, brings a little bit more appreciation or maybe some gratitude your way, but maybe that's not the path you want, is kind of what I'm getting right off the hop. But let's get way more information before we conclude on that. What's going on here for pile 3? Can we get some information on and guidance, clarity about what they should do about this change that they've been waiting for? Purification and embracing. That didn't make it more clear at all, quite frankly. Okay. Okay, more information on pile 3, please. I keep wanting to call you guys pile 1, so it's possible you have a message in pile 1. The confidence card coming through, and sadness. Yeah, and it was sadness in reverse, but I don't think it really matters because clearly there's some mental conflict here. You may be the pile from the reading I posted yesterday. It's kind of a similar energy coming out. Okay, they want this deck here, the Angel Tarot, which I haven't used for any other group yet. I always just prepare all the cards. I don't know if I can make sure these are upright when I start. I just think we need like some more boom, clarity energy. Yeah, okay. Ha ha ha. The reason I'm laughing is because it says have confidence and you got the confidence card. Sometimes when, if you're a channel or a card reader, sometimes you're like, am I hearing clearly? I actually don't really think that, but somewhere in the back of my mind you think that, and then you get like confidence, or last reading we had third eye chakra right after, and you're just like, spirit knows what they're doing, so I'm just here as the conduit. Stand up for what you believe in. 7 of Gabriel. Have confidence, claim your personal power. Okay, that made it really clear. I'm glad that they told me to get that deck. So I feel like you're being influenced on a path you don't want to take. Okay? And I feel like if you take that path, it's going to bring upon what you perceive would be hostilities. People are going to be unhappy with you. There's going to be more conflict. There's going to be disruption. Maybe your parents will be unhappy, your family, your friends, boss. And then there's another path that you feel would be more easily embraced. People would appreciate you taking that. They would be happy if you took that, but I feel like you would be sad if you took that. Like the sadness card. It's like, am I going to be sad or am I not going to be sad? Because it came up kind of like sideways. And you're conflicted about this change. But you have at the center of your reading so clearly the confidence card coming out first. And then the stand up for what you believe in with an exclamation point, okay? Stand up for what you believe in, have confidence, and claim your personal power. So if you've been waiting for a sign, if you've been waiting for some clarity, I am here to tell you, even if I hadn't done this reading and I was just your friend, I would advise you based on my 43.5 years of experience on this earth and all of my psychic and channeling abilities and conversations I've had with my guides and blah, 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 blah. You must follow your highest excitement. You must follow your path of least resistance. If you want to go the Abraham Hicks route, if you want to go the Bashar route, there's all different spiritual teachers will always tell you, you must stay true to your heart. You must follow the yellow brick road. I don't actually know if that applies because I never really understood that movie and all of its metaphors and analogies, but that popped into my head. So whatever your Emerald City is, if you like, or a big Wicked buff maybe I'm getting right now, those references from you. Oof. Yeah. I know it is so hard to go against the grain. And to follow, but what you have to trust is that you're going with your own grain. And like, hear this. If you do something against your own will or against your own preference or against your own true calling in order to make other people happy, sure, you've gone with the path of least resistance for them. And sure, that will be easier on your life in some ways, but you're going against your own grain. And so you have to live with you. You're going to be so uncomfortable, so unhappy, so feeling your energy pulled in the opposite direction. Do you know the lethargy, the exhaustion that comes? You may be experiencing it now if you're already in a role that you didn't want to take or that you feel was pressured. You have to live with you every day. You only have to hear from the peanut gallery occasionally. So if it were me, I always say, I have to live inside my own head, inside my own body 24/7. I can't escape from that. So I better make sure that that's feeling good 90% of the time and that I'm happy with the choices that I make. And then when I go to bed at night and when I wake up in the morning, I'm thrilled to be getting out of bed, because those other opinions, the peanut gallery, those other voices, those other influence, they will die down. They will come around. They will get softer over time. Maybe at the beginning it's a huge thing and no one's talking to you about it, and you say, okay, let this die down, let this pass, and they will come around. But they don't have to live in your body and feel that exhaustion and pain and tension and sore joints and headaches and lack of passion and lack of excitement and stagnancy that you're going to have to feel if you take a path that is not for you. And you're going to have to feel that all day long. So just keep that in mind, because I have made both decisions and I will tell you, it's so much better and easier to follow your own path, and those who are not really for you will fall away. Okay, I'm sorry, but even your own blood family, if they can't see that you're doing something and you explain it to them, try communication. Try saying, I feel like I light up when I follow this path. I want to explore this. I want to take this adventure. And if they're like, no, da 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 da, then you say, okay, well, I'm still going to do it. I don't want to have a falling out with anyone, with you guys. I don't want to have tension and conflict, but I will stand up for what I believe in. This is my life, and I'm claiming my own personal power. Okay? Now, for some of you, that may come with repercussions. They may say, well, I'm not going to fund it then. Well, I'm not, you're going to find a way around it. Okay. You're going to find another way. A lot of people don't have support from their family for anything that they do. If that helps, it may make it harder in some ways, but it'll make it more satisfying. And trust me, nothing's harder than following the path that's not for you. Because you cannot buck the current, friend. If your current wants something else, you're going to go with it at one point in your life, okay? And it's just a matter of time before you can't stand it any longer. So you might as well do it to start and get a head start and deal with the other fallout, Manifest. Oh, I love this. Yeah. Confidence. Claim your personal power. I see that maybe you're feeling like you have to rely too heavily on other people's power in your life. I'm not sure if it's like an authority figure or something, but I'm just picking that up intuitively. I didn't even know I picked up these cards, speaking of picking up intuitively, because I was such on a channeling roll there about whatever I just said. It's funny because if you're a channeler, after you channel, you can't remember what you just said. Which gives the other person a lot of privacy, because sometimes with my mediumship abilities, when I'm channeling a loved one that's passed on, or an ancestor or whatever, whoever's coming through, I can't remember what I said, so it keeps the privacy for the person. I don't know why that's coming up, because they may feel like, oh my gosh, this person now knows what my father said to me or whatever, and I'm like, I have no clue what just came through, because you go into a different state of consciousness, essentially like a very neutral state. So I don't know why that's coming up, so that could be relevant. Withdraw. Wow, I haven't got this card either in a very long time. Yeah, I see this. Withdraw, I think, from the conflict, withdraw from your own mental conflict, withdraw from any conflict with anyone else about it. It's really your choice and your choice only. I don't think this card's in the view. Your message is really coming through heavily just through channel and not as much in the cards, even though it's here in the cards. But let's get some more for you. Yeah, so you've been waiting for, I don't know if you've been waiting for this permission slip, maybe, to hear some random woman on the internet just get real up in arms about the fact that I'm very sure that you need to do what is best for you. I'm very sure about that. So if that was in the shadows for you, or you were unclear, or if it's your own self, for some of you, it's this. I don't know if you can see this image if you're listening or watching, but this moon card, it's your own shadow you're having the mental conflict with. Like, you can't do this. Yes, you can. You're not good enough. Yes, I am. You know, you got to listen to that, the higher version of you, the loving version of you, the real version of you, which is your higher self, your north node that's calling you forth, not your ego, which we need the ego, but it's got to be put in its place sometimes, or it'll try and run the whole darn show, right? Show the world the real you. Oh, I love that came out. I really feel that for you guys. I just really feel that this change that's coming up is bigger than it seems to other people, because it may just be a change in living situation, or a change in relationship, or a change in job, or a change in school choice. But this is about you becoming your authentic self. That's what it's really about. It's not about this one small thing. It's about this one thing, or big thing. It's about this one thing being one of the first steps on a path that leads you to who you really are. Like, think of yourself in 5 years from now, in a year from now. Are you going to be happy with the path that this took you on? And the thing is, don't put too much pressure on it, because you're always going to be redirected. So even if you're like, I can't do it, I'm doing what my parents want, or I can't do it, I'm doing what, my wife or husband or girlfriend or boyfriend wants, I'm just going to do it. Nothing's going to stop your higher self from calling you out of that again in a month or 2 or 3 when you're more ready. Okay, so even if you can't do it now, just trust that when you are ready, you'll be led back along your path. Work through your fears. Yeah, I get that 100% with this shadow card. There is this shadow side of you that is afraid and trying to protect you, and weighing the pros and the cons, and saying, I don't know if I should take this job abroad. I don't know if I should start this new career, because all of these things, that hold us back. But if it helps, I always think, okay, if I have this one life to live in this incarnation, am I going to not do it? Or am I going to find a way to do it, when I'm ready and it feels comfortable to me? And, there's going to be some discomfort, because anytime there's something new, but I'm going to work my way up to this. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but I am going to do this, because I can feel it's my soul's calling and my soul's purpose. And I like to do it. And the thing with soul's purposes that a lot of people get tripped up on is sometimes it feels like it couldn't possibly be your soul's purpose, because it seems irrelevant. It seems redundant. It seems silly. And the world has put this labels on what's important. Oh, if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, if you're a teacher, if you're someone in high position, a judge, or whatever, those things are important. And everything else doesn't matter. And your soul couldn't possibly pick that for a calling, but that's not true. A zookeeper that's their soul's calling. They love animals. They come alive with that. Someone who's starting their own business, the creative passion that they put, that's whatever that business is. Or some people, it's inventing some new door stopper, which is just someone else is like, oh, this is completely irrelevant. How could that be your soul's purpose? But this other person, that's when they come alive. You can't understand the workings of your soul and all of the things that you wanted to come here to experience. I'm going to get you one more card from this deck, they're saying. So I think your reading is really clear. And I would meditate on this more, reflect, journal, speak to your own spiritual crew about it, ask for more guidance, and when you're ready, take that action to do what you need to do that is right for you, to whatever this change is. Final message for card. Yeah, they keep showing me out of my peripheral. They will embrace this. So if it's someone else, they will eventually embrace this and come to appreciate it in the same way that you have. And I keep wanting to say the leadership card, but sometimes you just have to take leadership. Oh, we never talked about this purification card with this sunflower energy and this rain falling. I just feel you've had so many constructs and really distorted paradigms put on you from other people, that your soul is calling for this purification. Because when you enter the world, you choose your soul family, and sometimes you know, and well, not sometimes, every time you know what you're going to learn and go through, blah blah blah, and then you get to this point where now you're your own, you understand, or you should be able to understand your own sovereignty. Maybe you don't rely on your parents for anything anymore. You appreciate everything that they gave you, but you're ready to go out on your own. I'm not saying you're all at that age. I'm just saying that point where you have that, like, I was in my 30s when I realized that, you could be 40s, 50s, 60s, you could be younger, but there comes a point where you start to disconnect a little bit from the paradigms and the belief systems that you were born into. There's a plane going overhead, that you chose with your soul family, and you start to undergo this purification process where your own true self, your own true beliefs, your own true desires start to come through. And I feel like Spirit's letting you know with that purification card, with this cleansing rain, that you're going through this now, where maybe you're starting to see through the veil of some of the distortions and some of the social constructs and some of the family beliefs and religious constructs and other things, all the world that puts on you, and you're starting to see through that veil. You're starting to look through the looking glass and be like, hold on a second, like, I don't know that this path that I've been kind of put on is what my soul wants. It doesn't feel quite right to me. And so I think that's what this change in the wind is also about for you. And I think your soul has been waiting for this, for this decision to be made, for sure, about whatever this specifically is, but for you to have this self-realization of, I'm in control of my own reality. I can have confidence in my own decisions. I can believe in my own personal power, and I am going to steer my own chariot, steer my own ship, and not let other people continue to influence my choices. Ooh, that was not like a big chunk of cards. Are these upside down? No. Final card for pile 3. I get really, your guides and my guides got really animated about that topic. I think it's like such a topic on this world, man, with what we're born into versus what the power that we really hold, and trying to extricate yourself from those constructs and distorted, social conditionings and all of this. Okay, there it is. Your final card, Child of the Cosmos. Yeah, oh, beautiful. So beautiful. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. So you could resonate with just starseed concepts or a star family or something, galactic, different families. But anyways, if not, this is just about, like we talked about, that everything you need to know is all within you, and you have your own internal compass. You have your own guides. You have your own ancestors. You have your own spirit team. You have your own higher self who has remained in the non-physical. A portion of you has projected yourself here, who is guiding you at every step of the way and saying, hey, remember we came here to learn this? Remember, we really thought this would be fun. Remember, this is a strength and a gift that you have that, you can utilize here. All of that intelligence lies within you. So if you have been looking externally, which is very natural, like I said, when we're first born here, to do, and for answers and for validation and for, approval, you're being encouraged to really start to look within you. And that's what your soul has been waiting for you to have this moment and realization and awakening of, you are a sovereign being. You have everything you need within you. And what do you want to create? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go from here? What's your soul's calling, not somebody else's? I really liked your reading, guys. I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for being here. If you're going to another pile, I'll see you there. If not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye.